Hey everyone, welcome back to Patriot Ridge Farm. So lots of fantastic growth in here. This stuff is just taking off. These zucchini plants are massive. Look at the leaves on this thing. So we've been eating a lot of zucchini and a lot of cucumbers. We have a good abundance of tomatoes on. They're just not ripe yet. A couple of these plants are taller than I am, so they're over 6 feet. More zucchini. These cucumbers are trellised up. Even one vine went up and grabbed a hold of the pull chain on the fan there, so we're going to have to deal with that. Cucumbers out the yin yang. They're hanging all over the place, and they are growing so fast. There's just cucumbers everywhere. There's another great big one right there. It's going to have to be picked. All these are going to have to be picked. Daggone. And look at the amount of blooms on this. This is ridiculous, the amount of blooms that we see on these plants. If all of these become cucumbers, good Lord, I think I'm going to be a vegetarian for a while with the amount of cucumbers we're going to have to eat. Beans are coming on good. More cucumbers over here, trellising up. Bunches of peppers, tons of peppers coming on. Bunch of bells in here. There's some Ajvarskis down through here. There's, oh God, several different kinds. So, I said before we weren't able to get the drip irrigation system in. So we were using this little orbital sprinkler system in here. Well, everything grew tall enough and thick enough that this thing was no longer effective. So we went ahead and just bought one of these tripod 360-degree rotating spinners here, or rotating sprinklers here, and it covers the entire greenhouse. So we're good with that. More tomato plants taller than I am. Giant marigolds. More peppers. Beans falling out into the aisle. We're going to have to get them straddled up here and get them in place. More cucumbers down through here. Again, blooms just crazy. And the wife's been cutting these back real good and everything, giving them good haircuts. Still bunches of peppers. There's some Ajvarskis coming on, starting to ripen. Beets, strawberries, basil. Oh, God, we got so much basil, it's ridiculous. And it's at, I think it's called Genovese basil. Plenty of tomatoes. So we're real excited about all this. I mean, this thing has really, really impressed us with the amount of growth and stuff that we've had and how well everything's done. And ironically enough, we've grown all this without one single chemical. No chemicals, no bug sprays, nothing. No fertilizers. Only fertilizer is good, clean, hand-sifted soil with compost on top of it. And that is it. Good thorough waterings each day, twice a day. The wife bought a couple little raised beds and she put more flowers in here. She's got some little planters all the way down through there to grow flowers to bring in pollinators. This whole vine was just full of honeybees the other day. Here's another planter. So yeah, lots of lots of excitement this year because of how this is all growing. I mean, it's just, we're amazed by it. So we've already got plans for next year. We're going to change this up a little bit. We're definitely adding more trellises to grow up because we have no more room to grow side to side or out anymore. We got a little bit of room, but might as well use the space above as we can. So there'll be more trellises next year. More marigolds coming up here. Melons are growing. All of the lavender survived. More pollinators. Well, pollinator attractors rather. The melons are growing. Here's a melon on the vine. So, lots of good stuff, man. We're just really excited. There's another melon. These two aren't doing so good. I don't know why. We're watering this as well. All right, these are the cool things. These are called, there's something else growing right there too. I don't know what that is. Probably some kind of melon or something. But these are called pocket melons. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these. Very old variety. These things don't get very big at all. But when they ripen, they turn this yellow gold color with the stripes. And they get this real strong floral smell to them. Not excessively floral, but they smell really good. And I can't remember the official name for them, but they just refer to them as pocket melons. back during the old times when, you know, Elizabethan, Victorian type era, when people didn't bath often and they stunk, they used to take these melons and put them in their pockets to kind of help mask the smell of their body odor pretty much. They are edible. I don't think they have a lot of flavor from what I've watched and read about them. They probably don't have near, you know, as much flavor as, say, a watermelon or a cantaloupe, but they are edible and they smell really good. So we'll wait and see. Got some, I think this one over here is, so this is a cantaloupe, and I believe this is one of the Crenshaw melons. I won't swear to it, but I believe that's what that is. So lots of stuff growing. More pumpkins and squash growing up. It'll be up the trellis in a couple weeks. So, you know, we're very, very happy with how everything's turned out. Of course, we'll refine and kind of work on a couple things here in the future, just to kind of tweak it as we move along and get that kind of stuff more akin to our liking. So yes, we're very excited about this. The NRCS called me today. They're going to come down, I think, next Monday, and they want to do some soil samples in the greenhouse there. They want to, I think, they go down about 5 or 6 inches into the soil to make sure that, or just to test the layers to see what they find in the layers. Okay, you know, I don't care. Come and test it. You helped us pay for it. Come and test it. Grapevines are growing. They're doing really good. We got to get in there and get that area cleaned up right here and get these things trellised up to the top better. They've grown so fast this year that they're just starting to fall off, so I'm going to have to do a better job of that. Tons of blackberries and raspberries. Ooh, there's a ripe one. A good size. Well, that's a good sweet blackberry. Wow. Most of them are real kind of sour. Got that bite to them. But that was really good. There's a whole bunch of them. Berries all over the place. I think I'm going to grab another one. That was pretty good. Yeah, so this hot weather that we've had, ridiculously hot and humid. Good berry production. Oh God, that was a sour one. But lots of nice big berries. I'm gonna sit here and eat on the video with you. Oh, so good. So just food forest. And I mean, these are one, now we've planted these. Some of them we planted. Others are just native, wild, it's grown here. And they just kind of got involved in here, or set themselves up in here, and we're just letting them all grow together. But great sized blackberries. Oh, those are so good. Even the puppies enjoy a good blackberry with that Jeffro. There you go. Here, Mila. And Jethro will eat them right off the vine. You got to watch him. He'll steal them. He's a hog, ain't you? Enjoy them. And I do too. The kids love them. So everything this year is just done really well. This heat that we've had over the last couple of weeks. So it's been, now, you know, people have a lot of different opinions about the state of West Virginia, whether we're a southern state or a northern state. Geographically, we're a southern state, but I guess by our culture and the fact that West Virginia seceded from the Confederacy, or seceded to the Union back in 1863, we're considered a northern state. But I'll tell you what, the heat and humidity we've had in the last couple of weeks here, we're definitely a southern state in that sense. Good Lord. Just crazy, like high 90s with 90% humidity. It's just been nuts. So a lot of outdoor activity has been limited to about 30 minutes at a time, and then go in the house for an hour and drink a lot of water and sweat and try to dry off. Oh yeah, and I did get around to getting Boris's field cut there. So that's a big brush pile. There's got a bunch of stuff growing up around it I need to burn. But it's just too hot to light a fire. Those aren't any fun when you got to stay back 100 feet just to keep from sweating to death. All right, so the hatchery called me the other day, where we ordered our Freedom Ranger collar yields, and they're supposed to be, I think the hatch date is the 28th of this month, so we'll have them probably the next day. So they called, and they're having trouble with their breeding stock. I don't know if they were late getting their breeders in, or they just haven't, you know, met up to their expectations of breedability or quality or whatever. But they called me and said, look, he said, we're not going to have collar yields available until December. Well, that doesn't do me any good. So I said, well, what are my options here? And they said, well, we can either give you the Freedom Rangers like you had last time, or we can substitute with the White Ranger. And I said, all right, I'm not familiar with the White Ranger. Tell me more about it. So the White Ranger is the Freedom Ranger hatchery's version of the Cornish Cross. And it grows about 5 to 7 days slower than a Cornish Cross, which that's no big deal, really, honestly. As I stated before, Cornish Cross always has a bunch of health problems. We always had a lot of losses with our Cornish Cross because they would have congestive heart failure. They would just up and die on a walk when you're moving a tractor. They just keel over, you know, just multiple reasons. Like I said, we were doing 90 at a time, and by the time we would come to processing, we would have 70, 72 chickens, and that's all that survived. Where with the collar yields, we had 0 losses. With the Freedom Rangers that we just did the beginning of this, or the early part of this summer, 0 losses. So I'm pretty much sticking with the Freedom Ranger lineage. So I asked him a bunch of questions about the Freedom Ranger, the White Ranger, and I read a little bit up on it and everything like that. So sounds like a good sturdy bird, got those Freedom Ranger qualities with some heritage and stuff in it. So that's why they're a little slower growing. But we got 60 of those coming, probably 29th of July. So there'll be a change up again, and they are white, so they're a white feathered bird, so they should pluck fairly easy, just like the Freedom Rangers. They were a little more tougher to pluck, so a little bit extra effort, and you had to pick out, you know, a few more than what you normally would with the collar yield or the Cornish Cross. But overall, they weren't bad at all. So the White Ranger does have white feathers, so they should pluck very easy. And if you didn't know that, collared feathers are more difficult to pluck, and the collar yields have a white under feather, so that makes them much easier to pluck as compared to the Freedom Ranger itself. But so we've got Freedom Ranger white Rangers, I'm sorry, coming instead of the collar yields again. So those will definitely be some good chickens to get some content on here and see how well they do some comparison with the other breeds and stuff that we've raised in the past. And I'm not worried about quality meat. I'm honest to goodness across the board. We've had no one complain about meat quality with any of the breeds that we raised. All of the complaints would come from me or us, you know, raising these birds, as in hardiness, survivability, you know, yield and everything of the carcass when you process them and how long, and no issues at all. No issues at all with the Freedom Ranger lineage, so I'm not worried about that at all. But it'll be nice to try these out. Now, they will be a straight run. I couldn't get all roosters, and straight run's going to be fine because when we did all roosters, they do have variations in their growth. Each one, you know, some are bigger, some grow bigger faster, some grow smaller. So we did have some variations, but overall, I think, if I remember right, we come out about 6 pounds as the average, with 2 of them at like 4.98, 4.99 pounds. But the rest of them were anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 pounds. Just a couple of them over 7 pounds, and that was about it. So hopefully with the White Ranger and them being a straight run, that we can kind of keep that range a little compressed there and have more consistent carcass yields. Though we know that the hens will be smaller anyways, typically, rather than other than the roosters, but I think we could probably keep it a little closer, but we'll find out when we do it. Anyways, what else? So still looking at hay equipment, not ready to buy another piece yet, but I've got Marketplace. I've got a bunch of them saved. So, you know, we'll look towards that here in the future. The mine property, I need to get a video down there to mine property. It's amazing, absolute amazing transformation down there. They're actually putting fence up now, fence and gates and stuff like that, and everything, all the final grading is done, all the seeding is done, all the mulch hay's down. What they've done around our pond forest is phenomenal. It's great. That's exactly what we wanted. So I'll pop a video on with the mine property here in the next few days or so, and let you guys see that as comparison, and I'll link the original videos in the description so you can see them. Get and stay prepared, stay free. God bless y'all.